limit. He might flap his arms in frustration, but he must never speak. Next, performers are not allowed to break character even in emergencies. Whether it's a fire, someone fainting, or even an earthquake, the character must never break their role. For example, if Buzz Lightyear hears a fire alarm, he can't panic and run. First, he must disappear from view. Only then can he escape. Seeing a mascot run away would break the magic. Lastly, secret surveillance. Disney has undercover teams who test performers without warning. They look like regular guests, eating and walking around the park, but they're actually secret observers. Sometimes it may look like a child accidentally dropped a balloon, but it's all planned to test how fast and appropriately the character reacts. At Disney, there's no room for mistakes. 3 strict
Yo, what's up, chat? I wanna run away.
Meet Jeremiah and Elijah, twin brothers.
Hi, Jimmy.
Meet Jeremiah and Elijah, twin
Oh, so
brothers
you're
with
the
big.
twins.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi. Hi. That's it? Aren't you going to tell me that you hate me and that I'm ugly?
I'm sorry. I do hate you and you are ugly. I just don't feel good today. I think I might be sick.
Sick cow.
I don't know. I've never felt like this before. It feels like even if something hilarious were to happen, like a baby hurting themselves, I wouldn't be able to laugh.
Jimmy, I don't think you're sick. I think you're sad.
No, that's not possible.
Something happened that might make you feel sad?
No, maybe. I don't know. I ripped the head off Camille's doll, and she was sad, but I make people sad all the time, and it never makes me feel sad, and I don't understand. It was a hideous doll. Why did she care?
She likes that doll. It's the same reason that you feel sad right now. Because you like Camille.
Oh, no.
Hi, Jimmy.
You there?
Can my friend Lizard come over later?
Your friend.
You have met lizards before.
Sweetheart, the only lizard I ever met was a carny worker at the county fair. What do you want?
No, my friend Liz.
Why'd you call her lizard?
Because Liz is short for lizard.
What is this short for, Elizabeth?
So what is Anne's name for?
What did you think Anne's name was?
Anarchy?
Anne is short for Anne Marie, honey.
What about Nate?
Nathan,
Nate's not short for detonator.
how did you even get there?
Makes sense, kid's a firecracker.
Honey, you know your legal name isn't just Penny, right?
It's not that either. I got it legally changed to Little Dude.
Penny is short for Penelope
pause it at the right time, a secret website link will appear granting you unlimited.
Did anyone else's parents ever say, you should be more like your friend without no...
If you pause it at the right...
Did anyone else's parents ever say, you should be more like your friend without knowing how crazy that friend actually was? Because one time, my mom and I got into a big argument, so she was like, why can't you be more like Dylan? He's so mature and polite. And when she said that, I tried not to laugh because little did she know, Dylan was a real-life supervillain. And she saw that I was holding back my laugh after she said that, so she was like, what's so funny? And I said, Mom, if you knew what Dylan does, you would not be saying that. So she replied with, well, what does Dylan do then? And I thought about not telling her because I didn't want to expose Dylan, but I was like, nah, I gotta do it. I gotta protect myself. So I told her that during school, when we were in the locker room, Dylan had a spray deodorant that he would use every day, but he also had a lighter. So he would use these two things to spray flames at people while they were changing in the locker room. Everyone would run away from him because he was throwing these flames at everybody. Like if you saw this guy doing that in public, you would run for cover. But yeah, Mom, I can be more like him if that's what you want. I love my mom though. Just want to say, did anyone else just...
So what if I told you the Titanic never sank? What? So the owner of the boat, JP Morgan, actually had two boats. He had the Titanic and he had the Olympic. And the Olympic was a little bit older and a little bit more run down, and it was also in some accidents. Okay. So the theory is that JP Morgan sank the boat on purpose because he knew he would get a lot of money. What? He did it for the insurance money, right? But why sink the newly built Titanic when you can scratch off the paint, swap the names, and sink the Olympic instead?
You just painted the word Titanic over the Olympic?
It gets worse. Guess who was on that boat?
Who? I know there's a lot of people on the boat.
All of JP Morgan's business competitors.
What?
And not one of them made it out.
Oh my god.
But guess who wasn't on the boat?
Who?
JP Morgan.
Was he supposed to be?
He canceled minutes before it left.
Because he knew it was gonna sink.
There was a guy named James Fenton, right, who survived and worked on the boat. And on his deathbed, his last words were, the Titanic never sank. It was the Olympic.
Wait, what?
And he said that if he said anything, something bad would happen to him.
So what you're trying to say is the movie Titanic is actually called the Olympic.
Exactly. So what if I told you...
Excuse me, we've had some complaints that you were trying to take a child. What? No, she's actually my daughter. I'm just trying to take her home, but she just wants to stay in the play area. Okay, but there were a lot of complaints and apparently a lot of shouting. Oh, well, I'm very sorry about that, but I'm just waiting for my daughter here now, so no more shouting. Right, and where is your daughter now? Oh, well, she's just in the play area. Unsupervised? Yes, but only because she was shouting at me, calling me a stranger, so I just threatened to leave. This just keeps getting worse. You threatened to leave. Yeah, but I'm obviously not actually leaving. I'm just waiting here for her. So your daughter thinks that you've left McDonald's and gone home? I mean, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound great, but yeah? And she still hasn't come out looking for you? What is this? A police interrogation? Not at all. I'm just wondering if we should be looking for your child out in the car park. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, we've been told there's a kid standing out in the car park by herself. Well, why didn't you start with that? Ella? Ella? Hi, Mummy. Oh my gosh, you're okay. What are you doing out here? I was just waiting by your car. I knew you hadn't left without me. Excuse me, we've had some
Excuse me, are you a manager? Yes, I'm a manager. Why? Did you see that there's a dog in here? Are you talking about that one over there? Yes. Right, yeah, that's a service dog. We do allow those in here. Are you kidding me? What kind of an establishment allows furry animals to roam around their store? Like I said, we make accommodations for people who need animals for medical purposes. Well, I could almost understand if she was blind and needed a seeing eye dog, but she's not blind, so what does she need an animal for? I don't see how that's any of your business, and people need service animals for all sorts of reasons. Well, whatever's wrong with her, I bet you she's faking it just so she can bring her dog everywhere. So I don't understand how a dog being in the store affects you in any way whatsoever. I hate dogs. They smell, they shed, and they bite you if you get too close. In that case, there's a very easy solution here. Don't go near the dog. Just mind your own business. Excuse me, are you a manager?
It's just a few weeks, all right? Will you come back soon, honey? You won't even have time to miss me. I'll be back so fast.
Take care, babe. We'll be just fine here.
Dad, do you think Mom's gonna come today?
She's still caught up, sweetie. Maybe tomorrow, okay?
Today's my birthday. I've been counting every single day. I'm gonna surprise her for her birthday today. Wait, is that her over there? Mom, you came back. Sorry, I don't know who you are.
Mommy, who's that girl?
I'm not sure, sweetie.
discovered a strange baby animal. Thinking it was a kitten, she brought it home. It looked very hungry, constantly crying and sucking on its own foot. The girl quickly grabbed a bottle and fed it, and the little one clung to the bottle and drank eagerly. Once it was full, it calmed down and started to fall asleep. The girl made a warm little nest for it.
Okay. At my old place, I noticed that Bo had started to lick the corner of my couch every so often. It was kind of annoying, but he had conditioned me to just be used to him licking everything at that point. A few weeks went by, and he kept licking the couch regularly. Finally, I decided to check it out. Expecting a toy or ball or something, I reached in and pulled out a stick of butter. He had stabbed it in my couch. For weeks, as I thought about it, I felt more and more betrayed. This wasn't just normal mindless stealing. This was calculated, it was intelligent, and it was planned. He not only stole from me, but he had the foresight to stash it, hide it in plain sight so he could savor the flavor for longer. So I'd be there on the couch petting him and loving him, unaware of him enjoying his stolen goods. And then, several times after that, I come home to an empty butter wrapper on my floor. And get this, as I was moving away, we took apart my bed and found another stick of butter stashed behind it.
Timmy, let's play. Mother, may I play with Timmy? You may. Yay! Okay, let's throw our stuffed animals at each other. Timmy, you need to ask. Mother, may I? Why do I need to ask too? She already said you could play with me. You still need to ask. No, I don't. Timmy, you did in fact need to ask. Mother, may I? Mother, may I say Timmy no? You may. Mother, may I go to school? You may, but you must get there within 5 minutes. Mother, may I go to class? You may not. You may stand there. Let's walk to class together. I can't. Mother won't let me. Why not? Shh. You may not walk without me without Mother. Timmy, let's play.
Do you know what the best and the worst states to live in are?
There's no way that California is one of them.
Okay, so there's a study done to find which states are the best and the worst to live in based on health, living, quality of life, and happiness. So the 5th best state to live in is Virginia.
Hello, birthing lady. I have a proposal for you. Birthing lady? That's a new one. Yeah, honey, what's up? Timmy, why don't you show me that one? Oh, honey, that's so sweet. You never asked to do stuff with me. What do you want to watch again, Bluey? You want to pick up where we left off? Well, I was thinking a new show. Yes, sweetheart, anything. Just please don't talk about it, please. Yeah, it's called Squid. Oh, I never heard of that one. Where's it on? It's on Netflix. Oh, it's just like, honey, it looks like that it's in gibberish, I know, but they play lots of games that we play at school, so I want to see. Honey, that's not, it's Korean. I mean, we can watch the first couple episodes and see how it is. Yeah, they play red light, green light in the second one. Let's just start there. I mean, okay, yeah, let's try it out.
30 minutes later.
I think this is where they start to play the game.
You know what, sweetheart, I could give this some bad advice. Did I see what this was rated?
That guy's about to leave.
Oh dear God, oh dear God, oh dear God.
Hello, birthing.
When I was younger, my mom sent me and Brenner to play with the neighbor kids, Jake and Steven. The main reason I didn't like Jake was because he said, "Your sister is so hot." Brittany was 18. Jake and I were 8. Have you considered shutting up? Anyways, I spent the day tolerating Jake's shenanigans, but eventually I hid from him on the front porch and watched Brenner and Steven play in the front yard. "Come here, Brenner, I want to show you something." Brenner walked up to him. Steven grabbed his hand, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a pair of scissors and started cutting Brenner's fingers. "Stop!" I ran over to them to check on Brenner. His fingers were bleeding and...
Can you help me? Hello?
Oh, she's a mannequin.
Really?
Yeah, she's been like that all day.
Mercedes, please. Mannequin duty is over. Hello?
She's like really in deep this time.
Rachel, can you help snap her out of it?
Mercedes, there's a rich guy over there. He wants to give you all his fortune. He's gotta go. I give up. Allow me. I'll just shake effectively.
Actually, there can be no physical contact between employees.
Since when?
You're bad. Oh, I got this. Damn, she's like a genie.
This is so weird. Mercedes, your eyes smell so good.
You guys, is there anything else we can do?
Let me try one more thing. Batch. I give up.
Is that hard enough to do? Give me. Oh, welcome back, Mercedes. Now please get back to work.
So,
over. Hello? It's like really empty. Rachel, can you help Snapper out of it?
Lady, there's a rich guy over there. He wants to give you his fortune. He's gotta go. I give up. Allow me. I'll just shake a vet. Like,
Actually, there can be no physical contact between employees.
since when?
You're bad. Oh, I got this. Damn, she's like a genius.
This is so weird. Mercedes, your eyes smell so good.
You guys, is there anything else we can do?
Let me try one more thing. Batch. I give up.
Is that hard not to do? Gimme. Oh, welcome back, Mercedes.
Ever noticed that Baby Saja and Zoe were a secret couple and tricked everyone? No one's really talking about it, but the clues are there. For starters, they're both rappers, which means they already have a lot in common. They also wore similar yellow hats. Zoe had hers in the clinic scene, and later we see Baby Saja wearing the same one. They might have been secretly dating all along. Zoe didn't know Baby Saja was a demon, and even after she found out she couldn't let go of her feelings, she still loved his performance. To keep things quiet, Zoe pretended to like mystery. That annoyed Mira so much, she tore down all her mystery posters, and that's probably why Zoe hid the drawing of Baby Saja to protect something personal. At the fan side event, notice how they act. Baby Saja was the first to sit next to Zoe, resting his arm on her chair, while Zoe pretended to ignore him. They thought we wouldn't notice, and during the final battle, Baby fought alongside Mystery but kept his distance. He couldn't bring himself to hurt her. Zoe didn't want to harm him either. Instead of attacking Baby, she took out Mystery, giving him a chance to escape. They may be a demon hunter and a demon, but in the end, they couldn't hurt each other. Ever notice that Baby's
You guys, I got this dual blush, and I am so scared right now. I have no idea how to put this on. Do I like just mix the colors?
Is so lovely. Like, see how plummy that is? So. How?
Hey, what's up? I want this stuff. How do I get it? With money. Oh, good. I want it all.
Oh,
A
yo.
lot more than that.
What's
Okay,
up, the Grow Garden No Life? The Grow Garden No Life.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so gonna be more than that. More than $2,025? $2,025? Yeah, I think your math is a little bit off here, too. I doubt it. I have got a math
Fuzzy,
on wrong
love,
one of my
fuzzy.
math quizzes in the last 2 months. My mom. Does the right answer, or does she just say good job? Good job. So, like, what are the chances that she just lies to you to help your confidence? No, she wouldn't do that. But I think she does. Are you calling my mom a liar? Not directly. I'm gonna go tell my mom that you called her a liar, but not directly. You do that. Hey, while you're at it, ask her if she's been lying about the quizzes. I will. You'll see. Alrighty, good luck. Hey, how'd it go? My mom's a liar, and I don't understand it. Takes you. It's addition. Whatever. God, why do you hate me? I don't. How about this? I'll tell you what. I'll give you half off of any candy that you want. Half off. Not have to do the thing. Hey, what's up?
Have you heard of the Monsters Inc. theory? No. So you know how the first Monsters Inc. movie, like all the monsters are scared of humans? Yeah. And remember when Sully and Boo were at that seafood restaurant, and then all the monsters freaked out when they saw Boo? Yeah. So one of the monsters said, I tried to get away from it. It picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a doll. And then another monster said, well, a kid flew right over me and blasted a car with its laser vision. Oh, I remember that. It was like a news interview. Yeah. So this is where the theory comes in. What if the kid that all the monsters are freaking out about is actually Jack Jack from The Incredibles? Like, what? You know how in the second Incredibles movie, like Jack Jack has a bunch of different powers? One of his powers is teleportation, but we never know where he goes. So there's a theory that whenever Jack Jack teleports and disappears, he's actually going to the Monsters Inc. dimension. Like, how does that work? Well, it makes sense because when all the monsters are freaking out in the news, they literally describe a kid that has all the powers that Jack Jack has. Wait, that's crazy. Jack Jack's the only one we know with all those powers combined. You know how they always say like Pixar movies are all connected? Maybe this is how Monsters Inc. is connected to The Incredibles. Dude, that just make both movies like it's scary.
Hi, welcome to Dunkin'. What can I get for you? Yes, small coffee, please. Kids, what would you like? Glazed donut! Glazed donut! I'm sorry, I think I only have one glazed donut left. Oh, what? Would you like to try our special donut? It's limited edition. Okay. I'll take the special donut because I'm the special kid. Hey, I'm special too. Can I have a special donut? Are you sure you're special? Yeah, I'm sure. This glazed donut is not so special. Hey, this doesn't look special. It's just a jelly donut. Hi, welcome to Dunkin'. Look what I got. You're about to get the color of your blood. Bye.
Watched it all day yesterday and all day today.
Don't put it too loud because I'm streaming.
I'll put it however loud I want.
No.
Watch it. Or the remote second.
What is... Yo, stream, what is this thing about the Gorilla Tag Countdown? I don't know what that is. Was there like a playlist?
I am a real American. Fight for your life. Any move.
Alright.
Hey, okay.
Hi. Where's Mom though?
Over here.
Oh.
I still have to try. Where's Boo? There she is.
A lot of Americans.
Oh, you got lucky, bro. She was on it. I asked her for it. Oh, you did? You said okay? Yeah, he said okay. I said it's my turn. She said okay. Yeah. I walked away. That's what she did earlier too. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And then she started crying after she gave it to me. Yeah, see? No, she didn't cry.
What's up, Bills Mafia? Dwayne Carter here, defensive tackle. This is year 2, heading up to St. John Fisher. They got me doing a ride along the campus. It's a Toyota truck, man. It's nice, man. So we'll see how there. Let's go. Not a lot. Truck is fire. Oh yeah, this is the K Toyota. Okay. Send me one. I can't believe it's even here already. Year 2, man. It's a blessing, obviously, being in the NFL still, and I think I had my first offseason.
I'll report to training camp or not? Yeah, day 2 already. Oh shit. I thought it was 26. For some reason.
So I think that was the adjustment for me, is like figuring out what my schedule was going to be. I did know about Mike the softball game.
Even James Cook is there, like, he's not holding out. He said today, like, after her saying HBO wants him to be there, they want to see all the drama. But he, like, in his first meeting, he was talking about how he wants to spend the rest of his career in Buffalo. You know they're going to try to stay. He said, why? He goes, because I have a great quarterback, I have a great franchise, and a great fan base. He wants to stay for his whole career. You got to prove it this year. He wants that money? I know. He wants to be every down back? Prove it. He wants to be he'll have like a Saquon season, just under a Saquon season. Saquon or Derrick Henry? If you get like 1,400 rushing yards and like 500 receiving, or 400. Hey, I just want him on the field 75% of the time. 1,400 rushing, 400 receiving, and like over 10 touchdowns would be good. 10 touchdowns?
And baseball is honestly my favorite sport. Growing up, I watched David Ortiz with the Red Sox, man. That was my favorite athlete. And that was kind of why I modeled my baseball game after. So anytime I get the chance to showcase that side of me, best believe I'll be there. But it was a fun day. And of course, I went back to Duke, man. Duke is a hard place to stay away from. The Duke-Carolina game, the historic Duke-Carolina game. And we beat the brakes off the boys this year. We got the hardware. From the camera, I'm not flicking off the camera. The wedding itself mean, it's beautiful, man. Like, my wife and the wedding coordinator spent a lot of time planning. And it was like a big reunion, too, for, you know, our close friends and family. It was awesome, man. It's a blessing. I got to do something really cool that I've been wanting to do literally since I can remember as a kid. It's host my first football camp back in my hometown, Pickerington, Ohio. 100 kids show up for the first year, which was awesome. It was just like the whole city coming. Together. Some of my teammates come to support me from Buffalo, teammates from high school, teammates from college, like everybody showed up for me and, you know, be there for the kids. I think that was one of the coolest feelings I ever had. So can't wait to go back and do it again next year. Hallmark to Hollywood. That's gonna be my slogan. I'm acquainted when it happens. I love acting. I'm very extroverted, but Hallmark got a little taste of it because that 4-line cameo. Shout out, I was in there with D-Ham, D-Dot. Was my scene. Obviously, that probably was two of the most.
I hit it perfectly. It bounced off her face. Hey?
I'm not doing this. You're doing this.
I always hit Abby in the face. Abby, what's up with that? No, I'm like doing this. Oh, it bounced up.
Famous guys in Buffalo and in the league in general. Stay tuned. Hopefully, we got a red carpet around here to walk around. So. The banding game was fire. The energy in there is elite too. Like they play hip hop and stuff during the that shit is like I can get behind this. But that was my first banding game ever. But to see, I think it's another aspect of and how loyal these people are to Buffalo sports teams. And obviously the guys won. To see how talented they are, and they won 3 in a row. That's hard to freaking do. Getting one out here on the field, and you know they embrace us like we embrace them. They support us like we support them. So I think that's dope. That's why I told them next year. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be at a lot of bandit games next year. Y'all gotta tell me where are the best spots to go in Rochester for food, you know, ice cream, dessert, whatever it is. Y'all gotta let me know in the comments." I'm taking 1 minute away.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Alright. So when y'all send me one, you can send me this exact one. But it does not have to be decked out in Bill's face. I will say I gotta connect y'all with my guy, Alec Anderson, number 70 on the Bills. Good dude. And he swears by his forerunner. So y'all got some Toyota fans around the building who will live to die about Toyota, I'm telling you. So y'all come here when y'all take care of me. So y'all can talk to them. Let's see if I remember the right trend. Oh, yep. There it is. The training camp final one here.
Check. Ready? Yo, W or an L? Ready? I messed up.
Blumhouse today has dropped the official trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, finally giving us more insight into the story, locations, animatronics, and whether Blumhouse was telling the truth on this one being scarier than the first. So that's exactly what I'll be doing here for you guys, is I'll give you my trailer breakdown and reaction to the new Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mine's better.
I don't know, it's not. Mine's taller, it rolls better, and it has armrests. And lumbar.
Armrest.
Pillow on the back.
No, mine. Oh, well, mine's not an actual gaming chair. This one's
Mine's not a gaming chair either.
armrest.
Yours is like a makeup vanity chair.
I like them though. It's comfy.
I would say it was like.
No, it's not really.
I think
Well, mine's really
would
comfy.
Be like, oh, like something to do with your homework.
Wait, Abby, look at it. You think I cooked up on this video?
Let's go.
Freddy's trailer, point out some Easter eggs and details you might have missed, because there's actually a lot of cool connections to the second Five Nights at Freddy's game, as well as your thoughts and theories, more hardcore fans, because you always catch the 1 or 10 things I miss.
Let's try to get to 3, and then we'll stop.
Oh yeah, Mondo, I'm excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Is it not like? Is it different, Mondo? Is it not a thriller this time? I mean, I don't really care if it's not a thriller because I remember it comes out. I'm pretty sure it's December 3rd. I mean, December 5th.
4, 5, 6. No.
You made it.
We made 6.
I'm still streaming.
Leave it all down below. Okay, so this weekend...
Me and Dad got 7. 1.
It's San Diego Comic-Con, and Blumhouse is going to have a panel where they're going to discuss some stuff with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In fact, they've already announced and confirmed that Skeet Ulrich will actually be part of Five Nights at Freddy's. This was already leaked and known months back. They didn't confirm his exact role, but I'm pretty sure they'll reveal that he's playing Henry Emily, the partner of William Afton that actually helped him build the pizzeria. We'll see what other things they decide to reveal or let us know, but for now, the trailer starts off with a group of paranormal investigators, one of them played by McKenna Grace, who looks like they want to get some footage of an old abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. But an interesting tidbit is that they reveal this is the original location.
Definitely not the Freddy's I remember.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original.
Usually in the Five Nights at Freddy's video game lore, the original location is Fredbear's Family Diner. And well, we already know that the movie world has changed up the lore, simplified some stuff, and so it looks like they're not going with the Fredbear angle. The pizzeria we saw in the first movie was a franchise location, and believe it or not, the original pizzeria also has a murder history of its own.
Some little girl got murdered here.
McKenna Grace's character lets us know that a little girl died in this location and was the cause of its shutting down. Now, I don't know. If you have 2 pizzerias done because kids are dying, it's over. Pack it up. The Mouse Chucky Chester won. He can have all the fun. Ain't no kids dying there. Are there kids that have died there? I'm too scared to Google that. You let me know. But man, this original location was bumping, dude. They have a carousel, which was part of the second Five Nights at Freddy's game. Looks like they even had a river boat ride. Like, dude, this was the place to go when you were 10. It is nice how this like paranormal angle is going to allow them to do like some sort of found footage stuff, because you can see them showing off all the toy animatronics that are covered up. In plastic, shot a balloon boy, a ball pit, like I don't know, it'll make for some nice creepy atmosphere, but we eventually have McKenna Grace on a giant music box. Most fans know this music box usually indicates that the marionette, aka the puppet, is pretty nearby. You see at one point a plushie of the puppet, but then you also...
Is it? Mondo, isn't it like a myth that's the crying child? Is that the person that died there?
We'll actually
I
see
think
it
that could be
moving
it.
around behind Vanessa later in the trailer. There's even other shots.
Wait, what happened?
Hey, the puppet is pretty nearby. You see at one point a plushie of the puppet, but then you also actually see it moving around behind Vanessa later in the trailer.
I only watched the
There's
first
even other
trailer.
shots where you can see its creepy little skinny hands emerging from the ceiling. The puppet was created by Henry Emily as a protection measure for his daughter, Charlotte, but that didn't go according to plan, and William Afton ended up killing her. We'll see if the movie universe goes with the same logic. I imagine it will, but usually the spirit of Charlotte does inhabit the puppet and is haunting characters. Honestly, I've always found the puppet to be a very creepy looking character, so I hope a lot of the scares are actually well implemented. I also feel like it has a really great motive for going after Vanessa, the daughter of William Afton, because it would obviously
Yo, Roman
want
GT,
revenge
I
and get
might
rid of the
appreciate that, bro.
daughter that William Afton has, the same way William got rid of the daughter that belonged to Henry. From there, though, we see our characters are trying to go about living a normal life. Mike and Vanessa appear to be dating. Good for them.
So this is what it's like? Being normal?
Hello, internet web. But Abby isn't moving on so easily. It looks like she's tinkering with animatronic building where she has her own little Chica made. I'm gonna see them blueprints, Abby. I just want to make sure they're safe and not make a life-size one. But it also looks like Mike isn't helping with his sister's delusions, because he's telling this story to Abby that, yeah, they'll eventually go back to the pizzeria and fix the friends one day, hoping that maybe she'll just forget about it and move on. But she's not. She even has this little Freddy Fazbear toy that she actually uses to communicate with her dead friends. This is then the thing that'll draw Abby to the original location where she'll stumble
Yo, Chaz, is this
upon
copyright?
animatronics. Mike will obviously go looking for her, but putting a pause on that, we do get small little glimpses of what appears to be flashback sequences of William Afton in the yellow rabbit costume. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Charlotte, aka the dead girl that makes this place shut down, or another child. Either way, that's the thing I was most begging for with this movie, is More
Dang.
Yellow Rabbit stuff, man. Just hearing Matthew Lillard's small lines in the trailer.
Wherever you go, belong to. I'm not done with you.
And looking at him in the clean outfit, holding a knife, chasing a kid down, like, I want a whole movie of just Yellow Rabbit. I unfortunately still think we have to temper our expectations with the amount of William Afton in this movie. I still think he's going to have about as much screen time as the last movie, and they're really not going to give him a full film until Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where usually it is Springtrap that is the main antagonist and threat. But we'll see, because I think other than flashbacks, we'll also be seeing some sort of visions or hallucinations by Vanessa, who is here at home and a yellow rabbit hand touches her. I think that's just going to be part of her seeing her father. And I just...
Yeah, but his soul is like trapped. It's like weird where he's in the game. He's like forever living and just
I know, like,
looks like a zombie.
I know, like, he always said, like, always come back.
Yeah, he's a human.
When he got
He
killed,
basically turned into like a zombie inside.
when he got, like, when he's about to get killed, before he died, he said, I always come back. And then he put it back on, and then he just died. And then
He didn't die. He's still he's like super weak. Not weak, but barely alive in the suit, and like the animatronics keep him alive. For like
And the
torture.
Amazons didn't know?
No, they do. They watch over him.
We should, Mondo, even though I might get scared, we should go low-key watch this in theaters when it comes out. Can I come? I want to watch it.
Hope there isn't too many of that. I'm
So-
not a big fan
that's
of
insane.
dream sequences or hallucinations.
Nah, bro always comes
Tell me
back.
what's really going on. Don't need all that.
Oh wait,
much
one more thing.
hallucinate.
I like
Some
how
of
they
the shots
added.
show off more
I
body
like how
rather
they
than-
actually finally introduced the mask. It's cool, right? They put it on.
That's why they introduced it, because it happened in the second game.
I didn't know that though.
Wait, did they actually didn't kill him on purpose?
No, he got spring locked.
Yeah, they didn't kill him.
He accidentally got killed.
Yeah, so they decide now the animatronics keep him and is still alive for forever. Until eventually it burns down and he stays alive again.
Oh yeah, he got. It was like, what was his name after that? Yeah, I thought it was like another name though.
And then the white bunny, I remember the white bunny.
Wait, but that's
We
Vanessa.
have Baloo.
In the movie or the game?
The game.
That's the rabbit man.
That's why'd she become evil?
I don't remember why.
That's weird.
Balloon Boy in the boat river going after the paranormal investigators. Mangle on top of a car trying to stop one of our main characters. But we end up back with Mike in the pizzeria where they're recreating scenes from the actual video game. And I thought this was really fun. You see Mike turn on his flashlight, look around
I
as
saw that
he
part.
would in the game. And then he stumbles upon a mask where if you've played the second Five Nights at Freddy's game, you know wearing the mask shields you or basically protects you from any of the animatronics coming after you. This is because they have facial recognition and the mask blocks that. I always thought it was kind of a silly mechanic, but Mike even makes fun of it by saying,
There's no way that'll work.
but he does end up doing it, and yeah, doesn't look silly or ridiculous at all. Just Mike's little old head and a giant Freddy Fazbear mask shielding him. I respect and love the Five Nights at Freddy fans, but sometimes we gotta admit, when things from the game to translate into live action, comes off a little goofy. I hope he says "Por, por, por, por," when he wears the mask. Foxy is supposed to be one of the only ones immune to this mask shield protection, and I do wonder if this shot in the trailer is kind of him staring at Mike going,
I clearly see you, Mike. What are you doing, you fool?
But even though I'm complaining that looks a little goofy, I mean, Wither Chica looks scary, dude. This is a really great design. The Jim Henson Company did an awesome job with these withered animatronics. They look straight out of the game, and some of these shots we get of them actually look horrifying, so hopefully they can lean into that. This movie is still PG-13, and it's gonna be limited by that. But hopefully they can lean more into the scares. For me, this is painting a picture that this movie could be really fun. I'm still curious how they plan to expand the lore aspect, what things they'll change, if the story will flow a little bit better this time, and also if they can get more creative with the PG-13 kills. That's what would make me really happy. I think this was a good...
The teaser trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has finally dropped, and it managed to pack so much about its plot into just 50 seconds. Enough to solve this movie months before it's out. Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory, the show that always comes back. Just like you can always come back by hitting that subscribe button. So loyal theorists, the time has come. Five Nights at Freddy's is coming back to theaters this year. We're truly in the end game now, and the marketing for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie has started up, with our first big look into the film coming with its official teaser trailer. Now, obviously, that is a huge part of theorist history. I mean, it feels like we've done literally hundreds of videos about this franchise over at our sister location Game Theory. But the films are an entirely different beast, an entirely different timeline to theorize about. Matt Truck.
Oh yeah, I forgot to wear
Trusted me to take on franchises like this as the film theorist. He trusted me to do our very first theory predicting the first movie because he was in it. So it's time to do the same with FNAF 2. In the past couple of weeks,
What is FNAF 4 about? And then, so they want to kill Abby and make her know. I'm so stupid.
Colin and I have sat down and really put our heads together to figure out what the heck is going on here. Like,
is the fourth one like that? If they are, isn't it supposed to be like Nightmare Electronics? That one, I think, if they do make that, that'd be sick.
Wait, there's a phone?
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one that's the crying child.
clearly this movie is taking cues from the FNAF 2 game. But that was a prequel to the first game, and this is clearly a sequel. What are the consequences of that change? And what does it mean for the story? Well, it might not look like we have a lot to work with to figure that out. I mean, this trailer is barely 45 seconds long. Can we really crack this movie wide open with just that? Well, we figured out more with less, and I think we've done it, loyal theorists. By looking at this teaser, comparing it to what we know from the game series, adding in our speculation from the fallout of the first movie, and using the rules and laws of filmmaking in horror series like this, I believe I've solved where this movie is headed months before it's out. And not only that, but I think we can get a pretty good idea of where the inevitable FNAF 3 movie is headed to. So grab your spring-lock suits, loyal theorists, as we take a bite out of this teaser. So, okay, first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page after this first movie, just in case you need a little refresher. And I mean, it has been a couple of years at this point, so understandable. Five Nights at Freddy's was the story of Mike Schmidt, a down-on-your-luck young man taking care of his kid sister Abby as he takes on a job as the night security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Mike is haunted by guilt for the death of his little brother Garrett, who was murdered by the serial killer William Afton, who also so happens to be the owner of Freddy's and killed several other children at the pizzeria years ago, and now those spirits haunt the restaurant and want Abby to become one of them. So Mike teams up with Afton's daughter Vanessa to take down Afton, save Abby, and hopefully find some peace for the ghost children. Well, at least until this sequel hits, right? Now, with that out of the way, let's go through this teaser shot by shot and frame by frame. We open on a poster for Freddy Fazbear's The Glass. On this poster display is broken, which may mean that it's the same poster we see in the first movie. If you don't remember, Max's brother and his gang of hooligans smashed and shattered this glass when they broke into Freddy's in that movie. Not sure if it's exactly the same poster, but it probably doesn't matter since I doubt we'll be spending a significant amount of time here anyway. Regardless, we do know that we are going back to the original pizzeria in some way. We know this thanks to some of our fellow FNAF tubers who did a set visit during the filming of this movie. Here we see that the studio rebuilt a facade of the front of the restaurant, but not the whole thing, so I doubt we're going to be spending a ton of time inside of it. Either way, this is just an establishing shot for us and the teaser, so let's move on. Next, we see a shot of an endoskeleton turning on. If you don't know, these are the mechanical parts inside of the animatronics that let them move and work. You actually see some of them getting work.
Look!
What happened?
I stopped to get
Carpal tunnel sucks!
What's the carpal? Is that the cramp thingy?
Worked on in the previous movie. But it's also worth noting that this one from the teaser, it isn't the same type. This is an Endo 02, a more advanced type of endoskeleton that we first saw in the FNAF 2 game. And I mean, hey, that makes sense. Like, it's the FNAF 2 movie, of course they're taking cues from the FNAF 2 game. Anyway, you can tell this thanks to the curved mouth on this one. The original endoskeletons in the first movie had squared off mouths. And there's a voiceover for William Afton, welcoming us back to Freddy's.
I stopped to get a drink first, and I went to the gym. I was at the gym for like an hour, and then I got home. You said already?
I'm going okay excited for this.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show?
It's a nice meta touch to get us back into this world, but in universe, this is likely a recording or a flashback to when one of the restaurants is having its big opening. Since Afton is welcoming us back, I'm guessing that this is the sister location. It just seems more relevant than, say, the original location undergoing some sort of renovation and then reopening just for the sake of it. Either way, I expect that Afton's ghost will be using this audio to great effect. Like, if this is an actual audio recording, I could see him using it to torment Mike and the others. It would just be super creepy, and I'm all for it. Suddenly, we see ourselves in some sort of circus.
For everyone?
You and me and Dre, they're not gonna eat it. If you want some, you can have some.
Or fair. It's almost certainly Freddy Fazbear themed, since we see kids in the background dressed up as characters from Freddy's. And there are also some themed attractions using those characters here. I'm almost certain that this is going to be an event called FazFest. We know that this is likely going to be a big part of the story, since those YouTubers I mentioned earlier, like Daco, visited the set and found posters for this event. Now, this is interesting because the idea of a circus or a carnival or fair is a big talking point in the FNAF community right now. I briefly mentioned this in my last FNAF movie theory, but in the lore of the Freddy's games, there was an event called Fall Fest that ran from around 1970 until at least 1983. It's a huge part of the history of these characters in this world, and Scott seems to be bringing these ideas into the film universe in a new way. Let's be real, that makes sense with the way the movies have been streamlining and combining the expansive lore of the series, so yeah. The next thing we see is Abby pulling up to the second Freddy's location on her bike. This is the sister location, so to speak. So there are actually a few things we can gather from this shot. First off, if we look at both the state of the restaurant and the surrounding area, this location has been abandoned for a long time. The outside of the building is run down, and the parking lot is overgrown with weeds and grass and the like. We can actually see this more clearly in those behind-the-scenes set visits from the FNAF tubers. Oh, and funnily enough, this building is actually in the same parking lot as the facade of the first Freddy's location that they built for this movie. But just so everyone's aware, that doesn't mean that they're going to be in the same location or even anywhere close to each other in the actual movie. Film productions do this sort of thing all the time, reusing sets and locations and either changing the camera angles or background details to make them seem like different locations. It just saves on production costs, which is almost certainly what's happening here since this is a relatively low-budget horror film. Anyway, the second thing that we can gather from this shot of Abby, well, given Abby's expression here, she's likely never been to this location before, so she's likely been drawn here by something. And I think I know what that thing is. Right after this in the teaser, we see a shot of Mike finding a note taped to his door, reading, "Gone to fix my friends." This is probably from Abby, and it's explaining why she's left and gone to the sister location. The friends that she's talking about here in the note are probably the ghosts in the original animatronics. If you remember, Abby was super close to them in the previous film, enough so that they wanted her to be like them. But they seem to end the last movie in a little bit of peace. So this note tells us that they're still in contact with Abby, and that something has gone wrong since the last movie. Now, that thing that's gone wrong could be a lot of things. Being trapped in new animatronic bodies, being tortured by Afton's ghost, but another big option? Perhaps that AI has gone a little rogue in these animatronics and is somehow controlling or hurting the spirits. Anyway, we might also know how they're talking to Abby. During one of his charity live streams, Daco revealed an image of a Fast Talker toy provided to him by the film's production, with a screen on it reading, "You there?" Basically, if I had to guess, this looks like a way that the ghosts are communicating with the living characters. Now, this thing is strange because nothing like it has ever really appeared in the games. The closest we get is Afton's walkie-talkie in sister location, which he uses to communicate with the crying child. But even that is weird and different than what we're seeing here. The ghosts in the film seem to be able to just talk to Abby and communicate with other characters like Mike through their dreams. So perhaps this Fast Talker is a way for them to do so without needing them to be asleep. We then see a conversation between Vanessa and Mike, where Vanessa is warning him that
They're out there, Mike.
she's likely talking about the animatronics, which we'll get to in just a sec. But the big things here? Well, first off, Vanessa has completely recovered from her hospital stay, so I guess perhaps she was not a robot as much as Matt might have wanted her to be. But the other big thing here is that she's not wearing her cop uniform, either here or in any other shot in the teaser. Don't get me wrong, she could still be a cop and just be taking some time off or something. This tells me that she's either stepped back from that role or
real?
Mama, watch this.
Has been let go from the force for some reason. We see another shot for holding a gun later in the teaser, so she might still be on the force, but I wouldn't be surprised if her connection to a serial killer was somehow revealed and compromised her job. But anyway, why was she warning Mike that they're out there? Well, that's because of the next few shots that we see here. Yeah, we immediately see what looks like Toy Bonnie peeking in through a curtain into a window of a house. Shortly afterwards, there are a couple of other shots of Toy Bonnie lifting up some sort of needle as if he's about to attack somebody, and then a shot of a couple cowering in fear inside of a living room. These two shots are back to back, and though trailer editing doesn't mean that they're 100% connected, I'd be shocked if they weren't. Big picture here, though, is that Toy Bonnie and the other toy animatronics, as we're about to see, are no longer confined to the pizzeria, and that's a huge deal. See, the animatronics going out and about isn't really a thing that we ever see in the game series. The closest thing I can think of is in Sister Location when Innard leaves the Sister Location wearing Michael as a skin suit. But that's not nearly the same as the animatronics, just like straight up roaming the streets like we see here. This is extra strange too because it's established in the series that this would be pretty difficult for them. Glamrock Freddy from Security Breach explains that if the animatronics leave the Pizzaplex, they will eventually run out of power. Some endings have Freddy using a car battery to stay active because of this. And it's not just the Security Breach animatronics either, but in the week before novel, a story set in the week before the FNAF 1 video game, one of the main goals of the original animatronics is to be able to leave the pizzeria. To do this, they overcharge themselves so they don't need to charge themselves again, at least for a while. These toy animatronics might need to recharge at some point, giving our heroes a ticking clock that they can outlast as the animatronics slowly have to power down, perhaps over a series of days. So basically, they'd have to survive 5 nights at Freddy's, or rather, 5 nights outside of Freddy's. Of course, this scene with Toy Bonnie isn't the only scene throughout the teaser with the animatronics outside of the pizzeria. Later on, we see a man played by classic character actor Wayne Knight peering through a closet window in a school. He sees Toy Chica on the other side. Throughout the teaser with the animatronics outside of the pizzeria. Later on, we see a man played by classic character actor
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was talking about.
for Wayne Knight peering through a closet window in a school. He sees Toy Chica on the other side before she pulls him through the window, presumably to his death. We also see her feet in a room similar to this, likely before or after she's pulled this man into the room, as well as a shot of Toy Chica opening some sort of garage with her hands. There's also shots of Mangle breaking in through a window in a house, another one of Mangle crashing into a car windshield, and then someone getting attacked and pulled up to the ceiling by Mangle. It looks like that last scene probably also takes place in this school, and another shot shortly after this sees another new character, a blonde girl, looking up and screaming. Given the angle of this shot looking down at this girl, this is likely from Mangle's point of view. I wouldn't be surprised if it's immediately connected with the shot of Mangle pulling the other guy up to the ceiling. If I were to guess, this is likely a scene similar to the first movie where a bunch of side characters are killed to show just how dangerous these new animatronics are. I wouldn't be surprised if these characters go to school with Abby and are bullies or something similarly unlikable. We also see another shot of Mike, Abby, and Vanessa in what looks like an office in a school or some random house, looking terrified. So I'm betting that this school sequence is actually a big set piece for the movie. We then see a man's hand pressing a Showtime button to start an animatronic show. This is likely at the sister location since we see a different Showtime button in the first film, and that one's on a wall, not a podium. Next up, we have a shot of a silhouetted man in a hallway as doors fly open. This is actually a really effective shot, in my opinion. It's very creepy. This man is almost certainly William Afton. His build just looks a lot like actor Matthew Lillard, and we know that he's going to be in this movie somewhere. I'm gonna say that this is either a dream sequence where he's haunting Mike and Vanessa, or it's literally his ghost haunting the two. Also worth noting that there are 6 doors in this scene, perhaps representing the 5 kids that Afton murders from the restaurants, and Mike and Abby's brother Garrett, whom he also killed. This is likely setting up or reminding us of Afton's connection with Mike and Garrett, which will be explored later in the series. Actually, while we're on the subject, I gotta say, I think it's surprising the lack of Afton that we actually get in this teaser. Other than some voiceover and this scene here, the only other hint we get is a shot of Spring Bonnie's hand picking up a knife. I wouldn't be shocked if he's just not as present in this film as he was in the first one. I mean, it would be weird for him to come back as a big twist third act villain when that's exactly what he did in the first movie, right? The time spent with Afton here in this second movie, in my opinion, would be better spent setting him up as a larger villain in the third film, but I digress. Now we get a shot of a large Balloon Boy animatronic, eyes glowing as he activates inside one of the pizzerias. You can tell that it's that because of the checkerboard pattern here in the back of the shot. It's just classic FNAF imagery. Balloon Boy actually returns here from the first movie where he was just like a strange haunted figurine. Talking about a glow up, am I right? So the fact that we're getting a Balloon Boy animatronic isn't that surprising. I mean, he was in the FNAF 2 game after all. But an interesting connection here that we put together? Well, in Tom's very first FNAF Theory as host of Game Theory, he talked about the Fall Fest and how that makes Balloon Boy make way more sense. Like, a guy holding balloons doesn't really fit super well with animal animatronics, right? But it would make sense at something like a carnival or a circus. A character walking around handing out balloons to kids and visitors. The fact that the movie seems to be rolling the